We are live. Welcome to the Conversations with Shawna show. Thank you to those of you who are joining us here live today. Say hi in the comments. And for those of you who are on the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I can say hi to you later. And if we have not met yet, hi there, I'm Shawna Roche. I'm a mindset and success coach, founder of the Aligned Selling Method. So welcome. I'm so excited for today's interview. Guest is Leanne. Oh my goodness, Leanne, I'm totally going to screw up your last name. I should have asked you that. How do you say your last name?
Giavedoni.
Giavedoni. Okay, there we go. Leanne Giavedoni. So Leanne is an author, a health and wellness coach, professor, essential oil educator, retired physiotherapist, owner of Unleashed Essentials, and she is married to her high school sweetheart and a mom of two young adults, Marcus and Julia. So I invite you to join me, ladies, in welcoming Leanne. I'm so excited you are here today, Leanne, and we are going to be talking about Leanne's book, Fear Unraveled, and how it can help people. So welcome, Leanne.
Thank you, Shawna. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm very grateful that you've given me this opportunity to talk about my book. So thank you.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I have the book right here. So that's what the book looks like. I'm excited because when I bought your book, I think I don't even know. I think it was 10 books off Amazon at the same time. So they're all like sitting there and I started to read it and I thought, oh, this will be perfect to take on my vacation with me. So I'm excited to lay in the sand and dive into your book. So who is this book and coaching guide for?
So Fear Unraveled is really for anybody who is realizing that they need to change something, but they're not quite sure how to go about that because, fear is an interesting topic because we all have fear, but fear controls us to a different degree. So when I first started on this journey, I was extremely controlled by fear, like to the point where I didn't even realize it was fear, but I felt stressed, overwhelmed. I felt just stuck and unhappy with many of the things that were going on in my life. But I didn't know that that's what was the cause, and I didn't know what was going on. So if you're someone who is feeling that way, stuck, overwhelmed, and it's starting to show up in your physical body, then this book is a good starting point because it's going to help you to get into starting to go within yourself and connecting to your fear in a safe, easy way. And then from there, you can really open yourself up to so much more.
I love that. And it was something that just popped into my head as you were saying that, because fear can mask itself in so many different ways. We might have in our head fears like, oh my God, that scares me. But no, like you just said, overwhelmed, stuck. Like fear can be so many other different things that we're just not aware of at the time.
Yeah. So I have a coaching Facebook group that's connected with my Fear Unraveled. And in that group, I created a scale. And on my blog, in my website, I created a post about the many faces of fear. And even stress. My husband always say, I'm not stressed, right? I'm not fearful. But are you discouraged? Are you disappointed? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? Are you bitter? Are you resentful? Do you have shame and doubt? Do you have shame and guilt? Are you anxious? Are you depressed? All of those are fear.
Yes. I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Because so many people are feeling all of those, but they are not relating them to fear.
Yeah, uncertainty right now. How many people are in a state of uncertainty right now because we just don't know what's going on, right? So, and then the tables turn. Content is kind of the last level. Believe it or not, content is still kind of in the energy of it's not fear anymore, but it's not love yet. Then we move to hope. And once you start to have hope, then you start to move into the energy of love. And there's a whole bunch of faces of love as well. Yes. So my Fear Unraveled is for the people who are ready to start to move away from fear into hope, optimism, positive expectation. It's that bridge before you can get to happy, joy, an abundant life.
Yeah, I love that you said that. Can we talk about also, because I've seen several different scales of moving to the fear side, and then it's like when you're stuck there versus, love, hope, joy, you're in expansion, where the other one you're contracting. But I've also understand too that boredom can be that's that line where if you're struggling with boredom, that's where it can then slip down into all the other things you've talked about. And that's one thing to watch, is if you're in that boredom state.
Yeah, exactly. And so down in the bottom there, so here's hope, and then love's on this side. But on this side, it's content and boredom. It goes boredom and then content, and then hope, and then we move into love. But there's so many of the words that are emotions that describe fear. But when I'm talking and when I'm communicating, I use fear and love.
Yes.
But there's so many more feelings and emotions that go in that category for sure.
Yeah, I love that you say that, because that's the way I look at it too, is the fear and love. And then yes, there are so many, there's layers of that, like levels of it. Yeah. And so, oh my God, I love this topic. I love this conversation. I love your work they're doing, because so many people need help with this. And your book is, like you said, this is a great, over here, the camera, this is a great starting point. And so what experiences did you draw on when you were writing this coaching guide?
Yeah, so my coaching was as a result of me needing to heal myself, right? Master, heal thyself. So every time I learned something, because I was a physiotherapist, so I was already working in a healing profession, but I started to notice that to heal my physical body, or to heal my client's physical body, I needed to look at their emotions. And I started to really move into that understanding as a physiotherapist. And I had to heal myself. I had some stuff going on in my own body. So my coaching became a result of that work. And I moved from being a physio to being a more of a, I don't call myself a mindset coach. I call myself a wellness coach, or an intuitive or spiritual coach. But the book came as a result of coaching all these people and realizing there was just certain things, certain like kind of basic fundamental principles that everybody needed to know before we could get into like their individual stuff. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm sure you know, but coaching can be expensive. Yeah. And it can be very time consuming for me as a coach. So to spend time one-on-one with people, I wanted them to get the best from their time with me, their one-on-one, where I could be in my genius zone, which is really tapping into your limiting subconscious beliefs. So the book was created because then I could say to you, go and read about mirroring or shadow work, or understand law of attraction, or, prioritizing your time, or how to meditate. So I could put all of that in the book, so that they could get that when I wasn't one-on-one with them. And then when we were working one-on-one, I could build on the concepts in the book, and then I could use my time with you one-on-one to really help you to understand what the block was, help you to relieve the block. But at the same time, I could send you back to the book and say, okay, now you need to do some forgiveness exercises. Go to the book and do the forgiveness exercises. And next time we have a talk, we'll see where you're at. So that was the reason why I actually made the book. It was to facilitate the coaching process.
I love that, because that is brilliant. Like you just said, facilitating the coaching process. Like how awesome is that? Because like you said, coaching can be expensive. It can take a lot of sessions to just get to that and to understand what's already in your book. So I love that you're using the two together, because, and then you look at how people learn different ways, right? So some people reading that part in the book, then they can also make notes and then come even have a deeper conversation with you around that.
Exactly. And I've taken a step further because of COVID. We all had to go online. So I'm about to release a version that is online. So not only can you use the book, you can hear me coaching, you can hear me doing guided meditations, all of that. And as I mentioned with my Facebook group, you can catch me live on Mondays. Every Monday, I coach from this book for free in my Facebook group.
Yes.
So I want everybody to have as many opportunities to have access, because Shawna, it's life altering. It is a process and it can take a lot of time, but at least between the steps of the process, if you have things to focus on, if you have guidance, if you have reassurance and you have that hope, then I think it's easier to go through that process. Because when I went through it many years ago, I felt alone and I didn't know where to go. And I didn't always have the money to access the services that I needed.
Yes.
So I wanted to make all these different levels of coaching available so that everybody, no matter what level you're at, you have access to something that's going to help you where you're at.
I love that. That is so beautiful. There's a question here for Colleen. What's the name of the book again? Here it is, Colleen. I'll show you. It's called Fear Unraveled, the Ultimate Coaching Guide. Transform your thinking and manifest the abundant life you desire.
Yeah.
Desire. I'm trying to line it up with the camera. And you know what? Do you also teach in like a group setting as well as the one-on-one?
So I do. This is the funny thing, Shawna. You know how things change, right?
Yeah.
So I do have the online course, which is done in a group setting, but I'm still deciding if that's the best way to do it. I feel like the online portion, but getting me one-on-one might be the best way to do it. And so I'm in the process right now of just changing some things up, but it is definitely based on having access to the book, the online additional training, and then I'm trying to figure out what's the best way for people to have access to me. And I've played with the group and I've played with one-on-one, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what is the best way.
I love that. And the reason that question popped into my head was because as you're talking, I was actually thinking that some of the fears and some of the stuff that might come up for individuals would be better suited with you one-on-one. Because some of the concepts in the books, like the triggers and the mirrors, because I've found from just myself doing the work that sometimes in a group setting, fear again of opening up and having those conversations, even though the group's a safe space, you can kind of sit back and hold back. So having that access to you one-on-one then allows the person to open up, to go deeper. And then I think for me, this is just what I'm kind of feeling right now, would be more beneficial for them. They would get more out of this with the one-on-one side of it versus the group coaching. That's kind of what I'm feeling from just the conversations you and I've had, because this is powerful work.
Yeah. And we often are connected in this way, but I literally am finishing up. So I'll be finished with a group of 7 women. I'll be finished in February. And rather than, I started to think like it's amazing and they're doing fantastic with it. And they do get some one-on-one, but I'm thinking of taking away the group altogether and adding more one-on-one.
Yes.
And so because in the one-on-one, like the book is fantastic. And the book really does, like I still use the book. I wrote it and it's my favorite way to use the book. I go like this, I hold an intention. If I'm working on something and I'm like wanting guidance, I'm feeling I just hold the book and say, what in the book could help me at this moment? And I flip it open and I just look at what page it opens up on. And that's the transformation tool that in that moment I can apply.
Yes.
And what I love about the book is that it's simple and it's deceiving. It almost looks too simple.
Yeah.
But every time you go back to it, if you did it and you're here, the next time you go back to it and you're at a different level in your own understanding, your own perception, you're going to interact with the book in a different way.
Yes.
And so even though I've created the book, I've created the abundant life, I've done tons of coaching myself, like being by others. When I go to this little simple book, it always gives me some insight into what I need to think about in the moment.
Yes.
And that blows me away. Like I think, wow, like it's simple and yet it's so profound because it's concepts, right? Yeah. What is pointing to you is concepts. So what that one said for me to do was to sit with my expectations. So the page I opened was about expectations. And ironically enough, I'm at a stage in my life where I really do have to set new expectations. I've accomplished what it is that I wanted to accomplish, and I'm working on something new. And in order to manifest that new, I have to have very clear intentions and expectations. And that's what page it landed on in the book.
I love it. I love
someone new to the concept, that might be a brand new concept to them. The first time they read the book, they might be like, what? Expectations, intentions? Like, and they might be just learning it for the first time. But someone like yourself who's versed in these tools already, it's a reminder to you about a tool that maybe you could go back to and use and apply it to where you're at in this moment. And so that's the genius in the book. And I say the genius in the book, it's not my genius. I really, truly believe that this book was guided.
Yes.
When I was writing it, I was in a different zone altogether, right? And even the name of the book came from, I couldn't come up with the name of the book for the life of me. And in my computer, it's called something completely different than what it ended up being called. And it was called I Am Loved, because it was all about self-love and, feeling loved and safe and supported, right? So it was called I Am Love and I Am Loved in my computer. But I was getting sound therapy. I was doing some sound therapy at the time, and all of a sudden I just saw it in my mind. I saw the name of the book and I'm like, Fear Unraveled. Like, okay, yeah, that's the name of my book. So
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's interesting how things just come to you. And I love the way you said, oh my goodness, this is perfect. Because I didn't really set the intention. I've opened it up too when it comes to forgiveness, even before gratitude. Find forgiveness. And I love this because I was actually doing some forgiveness and gratitude work this morning.
There you go.
And I love that you said that, because that's exactly it. Because it is literally a coaching guide. Like, because if you sat and you went to read the whole book, it would be too much. So it's like you just read it in those pieces, those concepts. And then what I'm really learning, and for myself and for also, clients I work with, is that time to then integrate. So it's like read that chapter, and then just sit with it and give yourself some space to sit with it, journal with it. Because this book is seriously, it's like, it is brilliant. It's so beautifully done. And we tend to, like, as some people, I know for myself, sometimes I tend to try to power through books. And then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's kind of there. But this truly is a book that can guide you through so many areas of your life. And like just literally sitting and doing the work in this book will help you. Like, it can change your life. So I just wanted to say that about the book is start. Like, there's really stuff in here where it's like, start with these questions, take your journal out, and she's got questions in here to prompt. Sit with those, let it land, let that healing begin. Like, it's so beautifully done. Like, I love it.
You could literally read it in 1 hour, maybe 2.
You could. Yeah.
But you're not going to get anything from it if you do that. It's meant to be, I call it me time. So I believe it's chapter 6 or 7, chapter 7, I believe. I call meditation me time. And this is a form of meditation. This is an active meditation. You take time out. And in chapter 1, we learn all about time management and prioritizing, because, people will say they don't have time, right? And that's a mindset thing. So we start with that. So people open up space and start to prioritize themselves and their healing work as a priority. So then me time is what I do in my scheduled self-inquiry work. So every day I start 1 hour of my day is put towards this me time. And I don't go for a massage or get a facial or a manicure like I used to many years ago. I journal, I connect, I do a body scan, I connect within, I use an angel card to get a message, or I sit down and I work through questions that are in the book, right? And so just use the book in that way. And it really will be like having a coach with you. It really will be like having a coach with you.
Yeah.
And either reminding you of things or teaching you new things. Because there are things in the book, if you're new to this, there's stuff that is going to be new to you. But if you've been using self-help and, doing some of this work already, it will be reminders. But we always need to hear things in many different ways. So the way I say it might be slightly different than the way you've heard it before.
Yeah.
And it's just a reminder that the tools don't go away, right? These tools have been around for hundreds of years. I didn't invent any of them. Can't take credit for that. But the tools work when you use the tools.
Yeah.
And I just gathered my favorite ones, right? I've just gathered all the ones that help me overcome my fear, so that I could get into the energy of love. And when you get into the energy of love, that's when you can start to manifest a completely different life, a completely different, whether it's your health, your relationships, your money, your self-love, your ability to connect and be in tuned, all of those things change once you start vibrating at those higher levels. And that's where we want to be, right? So this book is to help get you there. And then once you're there, you can still use the book to keep evolving in that, right? So that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my dogs. Colleen's like, got it.
They agree.
Yeah, they're like, woohoo. So we kind of talked about that. What are some tips and how to get the most out of the book? So you kind of touched on that already. Was there anything else you wanted to add for that?
No, I think that's so the two ways I would do it. So in the coaching group, Fear Unraveled, the free coaching group, I do a chapter a month. So we're going to be starting chapter 4 in the group, but all of those videos are on replay. So if you were starting with chapter 1, which January is the perfect time to start with chapter 1, right? And you would have 9 months, that it would take you 9 months to get through the book. And I can tell you that at the 10th month, you'd be looking back and you'd be like, wow, things have really changed. So my recommendation is twofold. Use it chapter at a time, and you could go faster than a month if you feel inclined to. And then the second one is just use it like that. Open up the book. Those are the two ways that I would recommend using the book.
Perfect. I love it. So what we can do here as well is I'll type in the comments, or if you want to now, or I can drop it in later. My keeper is just over there. Your Facebook group, and how any other way that people can get a hold of you.
Okay. It doesn't let me type in the comments.
Okay, then I'll come back in here afterwards and add it all. And this has been amazing, Leanne. Like, I'm so excited. Love this live. Oh, thank you, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Leanne's fabulous. Follow her on Facebook, her Facebook group, Fear Unraveled. So it's this, and for you with your coaching, this is kind of a starting point, like you said, and then they can move from there. And I love that you're kind of looking at everything now through the teaching and doing this work and making some changes in the new year as well. I love that.
Yeah. You're always evolving yourself, right? So the more I learn, the more I want to change the way I'm able to serve others.
Yeah.
And so, it's all good. It's fun and it's exciting. And I really, truly, though, want to be able to have something at every level.
Yes.
Because I remember what it was like. I remember I was diagnosed as depressed. So I was at the very end of fear. Fear had its hold on me. I was completely burnt out and I was completely depressed. And I remember what that was like. But I also know where I am now, and I know the steps that had to happen to get there. And I don't although I'm passionate about working with the people where I am now, I don't want to forget about where I came from, right? Mm-hmm. So in my work, I always try to have something for all those levels, just to make it accessible. That's really important to me. Yeah. So, but something else that you got me to think about, I'm actually doing something fun on Instagram for the first time. So I'm at Leanne Giavedoni on Instagram, and I'm doing a 12-day countdown to Christmas.
Oh, awesome.
And there's lots of stuff to win, including a Get Unstuck session with me. So there'll be about 3 or 4 draws on Instagram over the 12 days. And then for the final 12 days, it's jumping into the Fear Unraveled group. And then I'm doing big draws in there, 3 big draws, plus another Get Unstuck session with me. So if you're into those kinds of things, then just start following me and you just comment and do the things, silly things like, post a picture of an ugly Christmas shirt. Like, it's going to be fun stuff. Yeah. My daughter's helping me with it. So yeah, that's something that might be a good way to get started, to learn a little bit more about me. And then we'll be ready for the new year to get started on really working on those goals.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. I love it. I was just looking on my phone. So I'm going to take your Instagram and then I'll upload it in the comments here. And so everybody can follow you in Instagram. Check out your 12 days.
Shawna, you're so generous. You're amazing. Thank you.
Aw, thank you so much. I love you. You're an amazing woman. Your story, and it's like, this work is so important because so many people, there's so much fear right now, and so many people are suffering and they don't know the steps. And sometimes even for us who do know the steps, we forget, because we can get caught up in something. So to have this moment where we can just, like you said, go through each chapter and work with you in your Facebook group and have that coaching with you in your Facebook group, there's going to be so many aha moments. And then to sit there and go, like I just did, right? And I just opened it up again, the power of the mind. Right. And it's like going, okay, that's meant for me. Let me read this and understand it. And I think it's so beautiful. And all of us coaches, whether, we have some overlapping things, but we're so unique. You have like such a beautiful style and grace with your teaching. And, we're all so different. And I love supporting other female coaches and healers on this journey, because I really feel like we're all here on this journey together. And I'm so honored to have you here with me today to share this work, to share you with the world, and, and help people out there that are struggling. And you're just a beautiful soul, Leanne. Thank you for being here today.
I think we have to give a plug to the other books. So you were in volume 3 of Women Like Us.
Women Like Me. Yeah.
Women Like Me in volume 3. And I'm going to be in volume 4. That's just going to be coming out this month. On chapter 11. I'm the last chapter of that book. So other resources that our audience can look towards to, again, learn more about you, learn more about me, and in ways that are very accessible, right? A Kindle version of the book online is again another easy opportunity to get access to some of this stuff, right?
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're a part of the book. Jeanette say, oh, good. Looking for your Instagram 12 days. Awesome. I'll look for it. Perfect. Yes. Love this live. Oh. Awesome. Thank you so much again. And Leanne, I'll get you to stay on for a few minutes. Thank you, ladies, everybody who's watching today, whether you're on my personal page, in my Facebook group, or on my business page. I love streaming interviews like this to everybody because I just feel that everybody can benefit from this. And I will come back in here and I'll put all of Leanne's contact information, her Facebook group, her Instagram, and all of that, so you can get in contact with her and follow her. And thank you so much. This has just been amazing live today. My heart feels just like it's just bursting with love right now, and this is so wonderful. And to everybody out there, I will see you in the new year. I'm actually taking the month of December off. And remember, I believe in you. I believe in your success. So until then, thank you so much again, and much love, and wishing everybody a fabulous Wednesday. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you, everybody.